Hello and welcome to Non-Inkables. We are already on episode 9 of the podcast, so that's pretty exciting. We'll be in double digits next week. And so let's go. So a recap of this past week. On the YouTube channel, I released a video about Ursula Set Championship preparation, and it basically just details all about set championships, how we are preparing for set championships. And the goal is, of course, to win a Ursula card and mat if possible. And so we'll see. I talk about how I practiced for last set championships, which was basically Pixel Porn all day. Obviously, that's not available this time. And so I've kind of cobbled together multiple ways to practice the mulligan, practicing against AI, practicing against yourself, practicing against Brian and Tyler, the other person in our team, going to locals, playing on Real Play Connect, and all of that. And then also, in addition to that, a bunch of the YouTube content creators that I follow and watch to help prepare. So talking a little bit more about the preparation I've done this past week. On Friday, we went to DVY for their constructed tournament. It was 3 rounds with 11 players. Brian got a bye during one of the rounds, which of course he did. I feel like every single tournament we go to that has a bye, he gets it. I have never gotten a bye, and it's supposedly random. How about that? It's been like 4 times now. So round 1, I played against a yellow-purple aggro deck. I took my red-purple deck, which is basically Lucas Serrano's red-purple deck. So the first round I played against an aggro deck, and my mind totally blanked. First I saw yellow, and then I saw purple, and I was like, what is this deck? And I was like, it's aggro. And I ended up losing 1-2, so I lost. The only game I won was when I was on the play, and it was like, your standard Lilo, Maleficent, Piglet, Pirate Captain, all that stuff. And I think the real thing with that deck is that you just have to stall them out until turn 5 or 6, and if they haven't won by turn 5 or 6, then you're pretty much in the clear. The hard thing is that there are people, even if they die immediately right after they quest, they still quest for 2 or 3 lore, so it gets a little much to deal with. And also because they're all little characters that are pretty cheap, they can play so many of them, and then because they're playing purple, they can also bounce some of them, so it was a little difficult. I've been practicing on ink table against aggro, and really it's kind of like luck of the draw. If you can get your 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop characters than a bunch of them, or a brawl or something, then it's easier. But it kind of just depends. That's a difficult matchup, I think, for red-purple. At least for me. And I think that person that I played, one of his games, he was able to play 3 Piglet Poo Captains. Piglet, Pirate, Poo Captain, whatever that card is, that quests for a bazillion if you have more than 2 characters. So yeah. Anyways, so I lost that round. The second round I played against a red-yellow deck, which I won 2-0. It was a very interesting red-yellow deck. I think it's kind of a homebrew. He didn't have Mufasa in his deck, first of all. That was weird. But it did the same sort of play red injured characters, heal with Julieta or Rapunzel. My opponent did also call Julieta Julieta, and I corrected him, and I sort of felt bad because I don't want to be a dick and be like, oh, it's Julieta. But then every time someone says Julieta, my head is like, you watch the movie. This is a Spanish name. The J is an H. So I did correct him and felt awkward, but he took it super well and called her Julieta the rest of the game. And yeah, he played Ariel Singer 7, but the only songs that she sang were Look at This Family and Be Prepared. So it's very weird. And I think the games against him, he was ahead in one of the games, and then I got to enough ink where I could really control the board. And so it was okay. And so I kind of clawed my way back. I think he was at 17 lore, and I was at 0. And I kind of just slowly Medusa Tremaine, be prepared in my way back to win. And I know he said his previous person, he also played a red-purple player, and he was literally at 19 lore, and she was able to claw her way back to win. So I 2-0'd that one, and then our third round, I played a mirror match against a red-purple that was playing the version of red-purple that has brooms and Cusco. And I think he's relatively new, so he didn't have like a full 4 cards for everything, so his deck was not super consistent. So I 2-0'd that person, which, I feel like that's nothing to brag about if they don't have the cards to make a super consistent deck. It's hard. And then I was trying to think about what the meta was like at that one, and I don't know what everyone played. So there were 11 players, and I know there were 2 on green steel, there was at least 3 on red purple, there was that 1 yellow purple, there was that 1 yellow red, and then there were 2 blue steels, but then I don't know what the other people were playing. So yeah, that was when we practiced in real life, and I haven't played any more real play connect games since that one I played last week. I think it's just hard for me to sit down and like have that time. I usually, like before, all the time I spent playing Pixelborn, I would like play Pixelborn and also do laundry and also like cook dinner in between like my turns. And you can't really do that with Real Play Connect, so it's hard for me to like find that time to just sit down and play and not have any other distractions. And also, I think it's hard to see the other person's cards. Like, I think if I'm playing someone and I know what cards they're playing, like if it's a mirror or like a meta deck, I'll be like, okay, I don't need to read the card to know what it does. But if it's like, I would feel bad if they're playing like kind of an off meta deck and I'm just like, can you read that card? Can you read that card? What does that card do? So I haven't really played on Real Play Connect. Also because I have Brian at home, so I just play against him. And we have all the meta decks built, so then I just make him play all the different decks against me so I can practice. And kind of, I do offer to do the same for him, but he says that my red purple deck is most likely what he's going to see, so he just practices against red purple a lot. The other thing I've been doing is there was that 10K CCS, I think it stands for like Charlie's Collectible Show or something, and they streamed their finals. So I watched it once through with commentary by Liam from the Illuminateers. I think his commentary, because there was also another one with someone else's commentary, but I think Liam's commentary is really good. Like, I think he is a good commentator, but also like you can tell that he knows the game and like is a good player, because I feel like his commentary is always like, oh, this is what this person is thinking, this is what they're trying to do, and like that's something I feel like I'm missing a lot of times when I play, because my default mode is like, I'm just gonna play whatever ink, like if I have 3 ink, I'll play my 3 ink character. I have 4 ink, I'll play my 4 ink character. Sometimes I'll get wild and I'll play a 3 ink and a 1 ink at my 4 ink turn, Whereas his commentary is like, oh, they're thinking like at this turn your opponent has blah blah blah, and so to play around that you have to do blah blah. And I feel like that is more stuff that I need to hear more of to really get used to thinking in that way. And then I was like, oh, but do I know he's a good player, or am I just saying that because he hasn't competed in any challenges, because he's casting all of them, which is super cool. But I think he's, if he were to compete, he would do really well, because he definitely seems to know every deck super well. So I watched him do the commentary through all the things, all the matches, and then I rewatched it specifically since I'm playing red purple. I rewatched all the matches that had red purple, and basically I'm watching it to see like, oh, what do they play anything that's unexpected? Because like you think like Chernobog Fallers on 1, Flynn on 2, Sisu on 3, Queen's Castle on 4 is like very expected, and then like Maui on 5 to kill some stuff. But like I'm watching for like when they do something like Luca plays Maleficent, he bounces Maleficent on 5 and then replays it to draw another card. And like that is not a play that I would normally consider as like part of my normal go-to moves. Yeah, so things like that I think are helpful. And then it's hard if you're playing a deck that isn't a meta deck, because then you can't really see other people play it against people. So I think it's much more helpful to see if you're playing a meta deck, so then you can see people play it. I did also try to set up Tabletop Simulator because it was in a Zan video, and then I literally downloaded it today on Steam because it was on sale, and I tried to set it up and I got confused and then overwhelmed, and so eventually I will try it again. Like I can see the potential of it, but I'm still trying to figure out like the controls and all that stuff. I just need to sit down, Google a video to help plan. And then interesting things. Brian sent me this new YouTube channel. It's not new YouTube channel, but new to me. And I am instantly obsessed, like super obsessed with it. So it's called Sketching Out Lorcana. And I guess it started out as like a Twitter channel. And it's by this person named Chappie. And so it goes into like a lot of the art and stuff of Lorcana, which I really want to talk about, but I also feel like I don't have the training for it. I did take art class like every Saturday before or after Chinese school, but like I never really, it was mainly like they would show us a coloring page and then we would just draw it like freehand and then color it and do some shading and stuff. And then like, I think we did charcoal at some point and some oil pastel stuff. And then I did eventually have a teacher where we drew like a cube and a pyramid and that kind of stuff. But like I didn't have the language, especially because a lot of them were in Chinese, but the language to talk about like art. And so he goes into that. So right now he has 4 chapters out. So the first one is kind of like talking about Lorcana, blah, blah, blah. The second one is about silhouettes. The third one is about shape language. And the fourth one is about color theory and ink identity. And I just find it so interesting and so cool. Watching one of the videos though, he used an Aladdin heroic outlaw picture as one of the thumbnails. And because it was like blown up, I saw that the ruby ink symbol is on Aladdin's cape. It's like the brooch thing that's holding his cape together. So then that sent me down a giant rabbit hole. So now I'm looking through literally every single card in Lorcana and seeing if I can find places where the ink color that character belongs to is like hidden in the card. So wild tangent that I've gone on the last half a day. So I will eventually probably make a video about that where I literally just go over all these cards that have like the symbol hidden. So like, for example, the Minnie Mouse Beloved Princess card on her like waist sash, she has the amber symbol on it. And like Wayward Sorcerer in Amethyst has the amethyst as his like necklace and just stuff like that. Also, I never noticed like in the A Whole New, and because I'm looking at all these cards very closely, obviously finding like a lot of hidden Mickeys, and then also like in the A Whole New World card, the background is like fireworks, obviously, but also in the background is the Great Illuminary, which I didn't realize. I just thought it was like a blob, and I thought maybe it was the moon. So yeah, that is a channel I super recommend. It's super interesting. Please subscribe because he only has 12 subscribers right now, and I want him to make more videos because they are so interesting to me. Anyways, so wild tangent. So for this week, we are probably not going to go to any constructed tournaments just because we're going to be testing. That's probably going to take up more of our time. And then for the weekend, we are registered for 2 set championships. So on Saturday, we're going to Games of Berkeley, and currently it has 25 people registered. And on Sunday, we're going to Victory Point Cafe. That one, they registered through their Squarespace or Square site, not through Melee. So I don't know how many people are going to be there, but it's going to be 5 rounds of Swiss and then a top 8. And I was reading on their website, just for signing up, you get a free drink and a pack. And I was like, this is great because their sign up was only $25. So it's actually the cheapest one around here. And we get a free drink because it's like a cafe, right? And so I was like, this is a good deal. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited. I think I am pretty set on my deck. I don't think I'm going to be making any changes to it. It's been doing pretty well. I mean, I was pretty confident in my deck, even like against Green Steel, until today I played Brian and he played 3 Buckies and 2 Diablos. And then I was like, God dang it. But I think that's just inherent to the matchup. It's not necessarily like a misplay or Miss Mulligan on my part that I could find anyway. I think sometimes when there's a squirrel gang, it's just oppressive. So yeah. So that is it for the podcast today. Pretty short, I would say. I'm just going to be doing lots of testing where we play open face and talk through the moves and all that. And that's it. I will see you guys next week. Oh, also, I found some good deals. So today on Amazon, they had a deal on the Inklands booster box for like $98 a booster box. So of course, I bought some of those. And then I found a good deal for Floodborne cards. And so you will be seeing probably lots of unboxings soon. But that is it for serious this time. So as always, keep shuffling. Hopefully you don't end up with a whole handful of non-inkables. Everyone, good luck on set championships. I hope you all win Ursula mats and cards, even though I know that that is mathematically impossible. But maybe if all of my subscribers win them, that would be great. Yeah, and let me know what other videos you guys want to see. I'm still undecided about what video I'm going to release for the YouTube channel this week. I'm working on several different things, so whatever gets done first, I suppose. And that's it. All right, bye.